Namaste, Hare Krishna. Second chapter, Sankhya Yoga. Sloka 48. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi saṅgaṁ tyaktvā dhanañ-jaya siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā samatvaṁ yoga ucyate. In the sloka, Krishna says, what does yoga means? In the previous set of slokas, we also saw what does yoga means. Here, how should one perform that yoga has been mentioned. That is, saṅgaṁ tyaktvā, to give up the attachment, abandon the attachment to the results of one's action. That's how the yoga should be performed. That is called yoga. And one has to be samo bhūtvā, equanimity between any dualities that happens in one's life. So considering what Krishna is saying to Arjuna here is, fight. When you're fighting, you're performing yoga. Well, our understanding is yoga means we have to sit in a way or bend our body in certain pose, lift our hands, breathe in a way and exhale and inhale a certain way. That's what yoga means. Well, that's also yoga. But here, a person, when considers both victory as well as loss as same, then that person is performing yoga. When one does action in that consciousness, then only it is called karma yoga. Therefore, in this mood, one has to perform their duty. O Arjuna, therefore you do your duty, not being attached to the results, but do it well, because that's your duty. Do not worry about the outcome of it. Saṅgaṁ tyaktvā, give up the attachment. Why one has to do karma yoga in this consciousness? Question might arise. Why should I do in this way that Krishna is saying? Abandoning all the attachment to the results, success, failure, victory, loss, etc. Why? Say, if one get attached to the results or desiring some result from their action, then one become entangled in the illusory energy. That's called Maya. And get into karma program, doing some actions, getting a reaction. When one starts thinking oneself as a doer, then they falsely assume that they are independent from God. I am the one who's doing it. Therefore, there's an independent nature comes into the picture. Therefore, God is kept aside. And consequently, because we think that we are the doer, we are an independent person, can do whatever we want to do, consequently, have to pay for it, struggle the outcome of it in a form of either happiness or distress, victory or failure. So these things keeps fluctuating, and therefore our emotions also get fluctuating. Sometime happy, sometime sad, sometime brave, sometime fearful. Therefore, one has to give up these two conceptions. That is, number one, desiring for the result. Number two, give up the thought of being the doer. I am the doer. Besides these two, we also have to add up one more important thing. That is, considering things to be mine. So those three things are quite very important for us to practice karma yoga. Sloka number 49. Dhūreṇa avaraṁ karma buddhi-yogād dhanañjaya buddhau śaranam anviccha kṛpaṇāḥ phala-hetavaḥ. This sloka says why one has to do things with proper consciousness, having those principles we just saw in the previous sloka. With proper intelligence, one does their karma, whereas others who does not use their proper intelligence, they are way far away from attaining the ultimate goal of their life. And they are called kṛpaṇāḥ, or very miserly people. Miser. Let's understand this term, miser. A person is called miser when he has everything under his command, but hardly utilizes them, but he just preserves them forever, making it no use for himself to enjoy it or for others. And those people are called kṛpaṇāḥ, miserly people. For example, say a wealthy man who has the best of everything, but he doesn't want to utilize them. He sleeps on the floor, eats just salad, that too with just lettuce and little bit of something, no dry fruits or all other vegetables, just simple. You want to save, keep the money saved, right? Likewise, this example has to be related to human as whole. Likewise, a human body is given to us. Like riches are given to the wealthy man, the human body is given to us for higher purpose, to understand what life meant for, why we came into existence, what are we doing here, and where are we heading. These are the fundamental questions that every single man or woman should inquire about, start questioning about their life. Because these questions are common to all, irrespective of men or women, Indian or American, or white or black, doesn't really matter. These are common questions for everyone. Let's see these questions again. First one, where we came from. If you ask someone this question, where are you coming from? They might tell, if they are at the office, they're going to tell, I'm coming from home. And if you're at home, someone asks you this question, I'm coming from office. Or one may say, I'm coming from India. I came from India, Mexico, German, etc. The second question is, what are we doing here? Well, I'm working for a company. Okay. And where are you heading? Well, my work is over. I'm heading home. Right? These are the common response that we get, which can vary to person. But this is very specific, the response answers that we just saw. But there is a more common response to all this thing. Let's revisit the three questions again. Where we came from. We all came from Krishna, God. There's no difference. There's no variation to this answer. Every one of us are part and parcel of God. So we all came from God. No one can deny this. Second question. What are we doing here? I'm finishing my karma. Whatever action that I did in my previous life, I'm paying for it. So I'm finishing my karma, working on my karma. Oh, maybe you're working, not me. Cannot be the answer. Response. Every single person was taken a body in some form or the other. They are all going through their karma. That's what we are doing here. The last one. Where are we heading? We are all heading towards Krishna. Liberation. We all want to go back to God. Get out of this place. These questions can only be contemplated by human, not by dogs, cats, a parrot, not by any other lower species of life. The reason they can't think is because they are not equipped with that kind of intelligence, whereas humans are blessed to have that faculty, intelligence. So if the human locks up that intelligence, never uses it for understanding the higher purpose of one's existence, then they are being miserly, is it not? Another way to understand this, with one more example, say this rich man buying a ticket, a flight ticket, and there are options available, right? When we buy a ticket, that is, we say whether it's one way or two way, and then there's another important options are you going with a cheap, less rate is one option. Second option is less stops. So if that rich man goes with less rate, then he may end up spending a lot of time in the airport. But if he pays a little extra, he saves the time and reaches the destination faster. Likewise, we all are rich people because we have the greatest wealth, buddhi, intelligence, which is higher than any species in the planet we can think of. So therefore we should use them appropriately to understand the purpose of life, rather settling down with lower things. Therefore, Arjuna, if you want to use your intelligence properly, use it in such a way by doing your duty without attachment to the results. And don't think you are the doer. Don't claim proprietorship. By doing so, you are performing yoga. And that is what yoga means. Yoga-sthaḥ kuru karmāṇi saṅgaṁ tyaktvā dhanañjaya siddhy-asiddhyoḥ samo bhūtvā samatvaṁ yoga ucyate dūreṇa avaraṁ karma buddhi-yogād dhanañjaya buddhau śaranam anviccha kṛpaṇāḥ phala-hetavaḥ. Namaste. Hare Krishna.